my goal within the prospecting to get this account bigger and bigger and spending more money and earning more money is to take big swings while also taking the small swings. So small would be like the iterations to test. So maybe you ran a UGC clip, tested out 3 different intro clips, found a winner. So then how do you iterate on that? Maybe it's changing the next 3 to 5 seconds or changing the hook on it, the text overlay hook. It could be big. It could be like within that small category, it could be big or small changes. So the visual or like simple text overlay on it. Does it move the needle a lot? It can move the needle, but those small wins add up. So as I'm making iterations, I'm also trying to take some bigger swings. So like new landing pages, maybe it's pricing test or just like offer tests in the ad account. And I am keeping track of that through this right here. I think it's important because this is giving me directional data to like continue moving the ad account forward. So I've shared this once before, this testing tracker. So what you're testing could be creative or audience, has some details in here. But the main thing I'm looking at is what's my CAC? Is it at my goal, below my goal, or above my goal? What's my ROAS? And then what are my next steps? And I'm color coding each test to then come back and be like, okay, I need 5 new things to test. I'm going to go to the green highlighted tests and see how I can iterate on these. And I'll look at my analysis and then go from there. Knowing what worked well or what didn't work well, I then put into a testing calendar. And about 1 time a week, I'll just like brain splat ideas based on my testing tracker or past tests to keep building off that. So I'll put my ideas here and maybe I'll put in creative requests and I'll update this. Is it being worked on? What's the ETA? And I add that to a calendar of when I'm testing it. So I should be able to know like 2 weeks in advance, like here's my idea. It's going to take about a week to finish, but it's scheduled in for testing in 2 weeks. And then I'll also add notes, like if it's an iteration test or if it's like a net new test, I'll make a comment in here. But this way I can know like, okay, if I test a static headline iteration, maybe in 3 or 4 weeks, I'll have enough, or maybe in a week or 2, I'll have enough data to then retest something else in 2 to 3 weeks based off that data. So I'm always trying to like think ahead based on the data that I tested. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I know Blake, you just talked about reporting too. So like, I think it's in order to scale an account, I think it's important to also have like that data to build off of. Like these things should be directional. From what I'm learning, it should be directional, leading me to my next iteration.